Ready? See how I'm sitting here? Okay, now maybe I'll move a little bit. Then, now I'm soloing. See, I'm thinking about the C chord, I'm moving around. Still thinking about the C because it's on a C chord. Maybe move to another spot. So I'm seeing this shape right here. Now, maybe go back. Maybe I'll head down here. Okay, now it's going to shift to an F chord, so here I go. Now it switches back to C, so here I am. Now F comes up again. Here comes G. Okay, so if you kind of notice what I did was I started off trying to create some chordal fragments to use over the top. So I'm seeing this cage thing across here, and of course there's a million things I could do, but so I'm seeing the chord fragments and I'm making something. And then when the song kind of kicks in, now I'm going to start trying to create something more melodic and moving. So I'm using my shapes, I'm using the combination of all of these chordal shapes together to create some scalar sounds. But always thinking about the shape of the chord that's being played. In this case, it was a C chord, so I'm thinking about the relative cage shape, so I have something to use. I'm going to play all the notes here if I want to, but I'm always focusing on the notes that actually create that C chord. Then when the F chord comes up, boom, I got to start thinking about the F, and what am I going to do over that F chord, right? I can still see everything, but I got to start emphasizing something to do with the F. And then the G chord comes up, same thing. Okay? So pretty cool. And I'm going to include this on the jam CD. I'm going to include this track on there, so you also have this to jam as a reference to what we just did. Now again, I'm going to remind you, all of this stuff is a lifelong journey. And so the most important thing is that you start learning how to kind of compile everything together and see it. Don't be in a hurry. You know, you have to just start trying to build things one by one as you keep going. You might decide that what you're looking for more with the cage system is chordal properties. You're trying to use some fragmented stuff. But you might decide, well, you know what, I'm going to kind of use this to solo with as well. So there's lots of different really cool things that you can do with it. Okay? So here's what to summarize this section of what we've just done. We implemented the 5 chord into our C and F chord progression. C, F, and G is what we did. We looked at the notes individually of each one of those 3 chords, the root, the third, and the fifth. And we took all of those notes and we combined them together and realized that when we take all the notes of a C and an F and a G chord and put them together, we're actually creating a diatonic scale, or do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do scale. We also looked at the pentatonic scale as kind of an option of another way of looking at soloing from just a scalar sense. Now again, pentatonic and diatonic really are the same thing, but pentatonic has less notes. Okay, well, what good does that do us? Well, if you start learning a lot about soloing, you're going to realize that you can utilize those 2 scales very effectively in different ways. So the bottom line is I'm seeing all of these things individually, and then I'm compiling them all back together. I'm able to spread them apart and use each one individually, and then I'm able to put them together, and they kind of create this big compilation of notes together. Okay? So that's the most effective thing about all of this CAGED stuff, is being able to see where you're going, and maybe you're not thinking of it from a theoretical standpoint, you're thinking of it from a visual standpoint, but it's still absolutely, absolutely just as effective. So good luck with this practicing segment. I will speak to you soon as we move on to the next part.